Welcome back to Hard Smart Together. I'm Coach Dave. I'm here to help basketball players become the smart, confident players that coaches love. So if you're a high school basketball player and you're really serious about improving this offseason, then you probably already started thinking about what you're going to do in your off-season workouts. Okay? We're weeks away from last season, and now you're looking forward, probably already, if you're a hooper, you're looking forward to next season, or you're looking forward to your summer AAU season. But you're probably focusing a lot, hopefully, on your off-season workouts. So that's what I want to cover today is 3 things that you can do in order to get the most out of your off-season workouts. That doesn't matter if they're shooting workouts, if they're ball handling workouts, defensive workouts, it doesn't matter what kind of workout it is. These are 3 things that you can apply to any off-season workouts that you're going to do, because I want you coming into next season full of confidence in the work that you put in the off-season. I don't want you coming into next season feeling like, I had all these good intentions. I really wanted to improve in the off-season. I just never really put in the work. And so therefore, here I am, another season, kind of back to where I started, not feeling real confident. So we're going to cover these 3 things. Before I do, I'd love to give you a free gift just for listening in. If you haven't already downloaded the 8 intangible skills coaches love to see in players, these are skills you can apply both on and off the court. And I put it in a checklist form. You can simply go to the description below and I'll put a link for you to download that, and I'll be sure to get you that free gift. Okay, what are these 3 things that can apply to any workout that you can get the most out of the workout? Well, number 1 is you must be consistent. So how do you build consistency in your off-season workouts? Well, you got to show up. I got to imagine that during your high school basketball season, you probably showed up for most every practice, right? Unless you were sick or something that happened that you talked to the coach about. You show up for every practice. You're on time. You spend the entire scheduled time there at practice, even with your AAU team. I'm sure you show up for the practices. I'm sure you show up for every game that's scheduled, right? And you don't leave halfway through, right? You show up for practices. You show up for games. Why? Because they are on the calendar. They are scheduled. You get a schedule and you look at it and you go, okay, we got an hour and a half, we got a 2-hour practice every day after school. Or we got a game on Friday night at 7 o'clock. I got to be there, right? So I want you to take that same approach as you are scheduling your off-season workouts. I want you to put your workouts on the calendar. Make an appointment with yourself that you have to show up for. Have a block of time. Make it convenient to yourself. Don't make it hard to show up for these workouts. Make it something that you can consistently show up for. Now, if you're like me, I put a lot of things on my calendar. If I'm the only one that's accountable to that, I feel I have a lot of self-discipline, but sometimes it's like, you know what? Yeah, I got that workout scheduled for the morning, but I'm tired today. I think I'm going to push it to the afternoon. Or I'm going to do it tomorrow. Or I'm going to do it next week, right? It's easy when it's just you to lack a little consistency, to push things out, to procrastinate, right? Because who's going to know? So that's why I want you to also not just make an appointment with yourself, but try and find yourself, we're early enough going into the off season, and you should be able to find yourself an accountability partner. Okay, now this could be a teammate that wants to do the same workouts that you do. This could be a parent. This could be a friend. This could be a coach, assistant coach, an AAU coach, a trainer. Doesn't matter. Okay, but you are going to show up if somebody else is waiting at the gym. If you said, hey, every week we're working out 3 times a week at 3:30 in the afternoon, we're going to spend 60 minutes together working out, you're going to show up because they're going to hold you accountable. You're going to hold them accountable. So find yourself an accountability partner, because showing up is half the battle. Okay? Be consistent. Schedule it out throughout the off season. Put it on a calendar. Get reminders on your phone. Doesn't matter what it takes to show up, but show up. So that's number one. Number two, I want your workouts to be focused. Okay? If you're showing up to do a shooting workout, don't start playing 21 or playing one-on-one or getting in a game. If you're showing up for a ball handling workout, be doing ball handling drills. Okay? So I want you to plan out your workouts before you ever show up. Don't say, oh, we're going to do a shooting workout, and just show up without a plan. Without what type of shots are you going to take? How many sets of them are you going to take? Right? How much time are you going to be there? Okay, I want you to have a focused plan of what you're going to do in your off-season workouts. This could be your conditioning workouts, right? Have a plan. Don't just say, oh, we're going to show up in the weight room. We're going to, we're going to lift a little bit. We're going to maybe go for, a run or whatever. We'll figure it out. Do some jump rope, run some sprints. No, show up with a plan. Be focused. This 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hour, 90 minutes, doesn't matter how long you're spending there, be incredibly focused on what you're going to do and put it in sets. If you're doing a shooting workout, I want you to maybe put them in sets of, I'm going to do so much form shooting, I'm going to do so many, elbow jumpers, I'm going to do so many shots off the dribble, I'm going to do so many catch and shoot, I'm going to do so many baseline shots, I'm going to do so many whatever three-pointers in what spots, and I want you to have that as a plan. Because not only do I want you to be focused on what the plan is, I want you to keep track of it, right? I want you to keep track so that you can measure your progress as you go through the season. You can keep track on a phone, a tablet, just in a notebook, on a piece of paper. I don't care how you keep track, but keep track. I took, 10 shots where I did this drill, and this was the results of that, right? Keep your results, keep track of your results, compare for progress. And then the third thing that's really going to get the most out of your workouts, I want you to do your workouts like it's a game. I want what happens in your workout to matter, okay? I want you to take, if you're taking shots, I want you to take game type shots at game speed, okay? And I want it to matter. So how do you make it matter? You compete, okay? And then you compete for consequences. So maybe that competition is with your accountability partner. That's a great way to do it if you're working with a teammate, right? We're competing. Each drill, each set is a competition. And we set consequences for that competition. I love combining skill work type workouts with conditioning. So who loses that set? Well, they're running a liner, running it down and back, doing a certain number of push-ups, doing a certain number of crunches, right? I love that type of a workout where you combine your conditioning, make the consequences something that is also benefiting you, okay? And if you don't have a partner, that you're competing against, maybe it's just a coach or a parent that's helping you as an accountability partner, well then I want you to compete against yourself. And you say, how do I compete against myself? Well, we talked about tracking your results. So the best competitor you'll ever meet is you yesterday. Last week, I was only making, here's what I averaged. I need to beat that this week, okay? Keep track. That set, I was below the average. I gotta do whatever my consequences are for that set. So you can compete against yourself. You can compete against your accountability partner, but make things matter. Make it game speed and make it matter. Now, when it comes to planning these workouts, what should you work on? I don't know, because I don't know you. But you probably know from reflecting on past seasons what you should improve on, what you need to improve on. And if you don't, get together with a coach and just have them help you plan out an off season. Plan out your off-season workouts, what you specifically should be focusing on so that you come into next season with that confidence in the work you put in and you don't just show up like you just ended this season. So that's what I've got for you today. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, give me a like, give me a comment below, and until next time, remember to play hard, play smart, and play together. See you next week.